And Gigi.
And a lot of people have been asking us questions on how I use my Feminine Now menstrual calendar or your Feminine Now menstrual calendar, because it's for every lady possible. So we're going to show you. So for an example, I did this little TMI, but I did get my period today. And so if you look up at the sky tonight and you see the moon, it is 90% full. So just imagine on your perspective when you get your own period. So if we go up, it's November, and we go into our calendar, and we see November. So, as I said, when I looked up at the sky tonight, it was 90% full. So I'm gonna give you a close-up. And how you can tell when it's 90% is basically if you look, like this is 85% full, this is 90% full, this is 95, and this is 100% full, so it's the full moon. But how you would track it is basically, you'd grab yourself your cute little marker. Mine is red because, you know,
Because your menstrual cycle is red.
and so we would take it, and you can like write whatever. I'm left-handed, so can you hold this?
Sure.
I'm a little different. And you would just write whatever you want. A heart, you could write a blood stain.
I
you could
do a
write star.
squiggly line.
So I'm just gonna write my squiggly heart like that. It looks a little wonky, but you know, it's okay because that's when I know I'm gonna get it. We like to use colors. You can obviously use whatever you want, but as you see, I love colors. And
Also, I'd like to mention too, as your menstrual cycle goes on, you can track the rest of the days so that you'll start to become aware how long your menstrual cycle actually lasts. Some women have a 4-day menstrual cycle, some 5, some 6, some actually a week. So this is a good way, as you mark it here, as Christina did, you can start to see how many days, and this way you could really get an accurate picture of how your menstrual cycle works, and you won't be lost in confusion or always questioning, am I normal? Is this normal? How was I last month? You'll really start to get an accurate picture of how your inner calendar works, right? Our bodies have an inner calendar and it mimics the moon. So thank you for sharing.
of course, I'll be TMI for you guys anytime.
Okay, so the next part of this video, I'm gonna go over some questions I've been getting about why do we start our calendar on December 21st, which is the winter solstice, because we are, according to the Gregorian calendar, we believe our new year begins on January 1st, which is actually about 12 days off. So that's how off we are with using the Gregorian calendar. So the reason we use December 21st has to do with the Mayan calendar. The Mayans had an accurate timekeeping, had an accurate way of keeping time, and the new age began December 21st, 2012. That's when the new age began, the age of Aquarius, the age of the female, the reawakening. Right now we're going back into being in harmony with nature. This is the beginning of a new age. So this is why I begin my calendar on December 21st.
2012, December 21st, started the 5th age, which Gigi called the new age. The 5th age of Aquarius. Okay, that's what we're in now. We came out of the 4th age, which was the material age. We're now in the ideal age of truth and knowledge, okay? So it started on the solstice. The winter solstice is when it started, okay? So if the 5th age started there, then every year starts there. Duh. So we started our calendar there. Because their calendar is 12 days off. See? It's 12 days off. Always on the 12th of their calendar. Well, no. Never mind that. Their calendar is 12 days off because it goes, see what I'm talking about? There's the solstice, and then they're off 12 days. We start on the solstice, okay? Which makes 13 months of 28 days each, okay? And then it makes every month Friday the 13th. Look. January, February. Look, January, 28 days. Full moon on the 13th. 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 Full moon. Every year. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is our last month. The 13th month. December is the 12th month. Okay? Now, the ladies did the video on the 3rd. Okay? That's why when Christina is showing you November over here, if I can find it, she finds it real quick. She's pointing right here at the 90%. Okay? That's the 3rd. The full moon's on the 5th. This is the 5th on their calendar. It's the 13th on our calendar. The full moon. Alright? So, the video is done on the 3rd. Okay? So okay. Now let me show you something. Okay, so right here, see, our calendar is like this every month. Every month. Theirs is not. This is the time calendar. I call it a 12-month Gregorian World Time Calendar. December 2025. Okay? Look at February is the first here, and that's going to be 12, so that's going to be right there. That's always the 1st of February. Always. Okay? And so the 2nd is always the full moon. They put it on the 3rd, but it's not. Okay? Ours is right, theirs is not right. and the way the ladies did this, it was their idea to put the moon phases on here. It was their idea to put the moon phases. Okay? And because of that, it simplifies everything. All you got to do now is just look at it, look up the moon, and you know what day it is. Simple now. Now you don't have to calculate nothing. Because of what they did, it's so easy now. Oh my goodness. Alright, so, yeah. I'm just showing you here. This time calendar is always 12 days off, and every new year, the whole calendar moves over a day. Every year it moves over a day. Next year, the 1st is going to be right there. Then another year is going to be right there. Then every 4 years it's going to move over 2 days. So it's always way off all the time. So not just women are off from their menstrual cycle, but everyone's off. Okay? So, alright, so now this calendar, the now calendar is exact every year. Right? Thursday the 12th is always February 1st on the time calendar. I showed you that. Okay. Alright. That I just explained so you could look at this and see, and you could know, alright, how our calendar is on and theirs is not. That's why we start on the solstice. Okay? The solstice. And notice when the ladies are talking, 4 has to do with 13. 3 plus 1 is 4. So there's 4 seasons. 4 seasons with the 13 moon cycles. Okay? 13 months. It's perfect. It's right on. Okay? Now, I don't know about menstruation and all that. The ladies do. They're going to explain some stuff to you. Really deep, cool stuff that's coming out because they're Gnostics. The knowledge is coming out. And so, they're going to explain more. Patterns. She's going to get into patterns and stuff and explain more to you about because having to do with the menstrual cycle. And notice that a deck of cards has 4 suits. 4 suits. Okay? Our calendar has 4 weeks. Okay? And then there's 52 cards in the deck, right? 52. That's 52 weeks here. And there's 4 weeks in a month. 52 weeks. Okay? Then what is it? 28 days. 28 times 13 is 364. Because 7 doesn't go into 365. It goes into 364. Okay? Right? And so 4 has to do with it. 13 has to do with it. 4 and 13 is the power. Look, this 6-7 thing has been going on around. 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. All right. The 6-7, you add it together, it's 13. The power is 13 and 4. not 6, 7. 6 is material and 7 is time. This is all time. We're in the universe of time and material. We're from the now place, the eternal realm. That's why this is the now calendar. It's constant. It's perfect. It's always. Now is continual. Now is eternity. Now is yesterday's gone. The future doesn't exist. Only now exists always. Okay? That's why this is the now calendar. All right. So now the ladies, okay, I'll show you here. Let me get, here's the back. That way you can see the QR code. You can take a picture of the QR code, take you right to the website. You don't gotta mess around looking for it or nothing. Okay, so anyways, so now the ladies are gonna get into some more and show you some more about what you can know and not just believe, but you can know, okay? They're gonna get into some patterns and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So, all right, that's enough for me. Back to the ladies.
Also, I want to start getting you familiar with some patterns so that you can see that it's more than just the new year beginning during the winter solstice. It also has to do with our menstrual cycle, the seasons, and even the day. So these are all sort of different ways of tracking time. So the year is the large scale, and you have the seasons. Then you have the menstrual cycle, which has to do with the months. Then you have the day. So there's the big picture, the medium picture, and the small picture, so to speak. But it's all one and the same, and you're gonna see once I start going deeper into it. So the winter solstice represents, we're sort of resting. This is a point of rest. During the winter, the animals sort of hibernate, and us as people, we sort of rest because there's not much activity going on. There's no, if you were a farmer, let's say, there's not any kind of harvesting going on because everything is sort of at a standstill. I like to use asleep and awake as opposed to, I see a lot of people using death and rebirth, but I don't like that terminology at all. So I'm just gonna say that winter is a time when we're resting and preparing for the spring. We know that the light is about to emerge in the springtime and in the summertime and the fall, and then it goes back to winter. So this is a way for me to explain to you how the year itself is separated into 4 parts, 4 phases. This has to do with your menstrual cycle. As women, we have an inner calendar, and I got this little, I found this on the internet just to show you. So our menstrual cycle sort of mimics the seasons because everyone starts their menstrual cycle when they begin their bleeding. The first day they begin their bleeding is considered the winter because there's no possibility for life and you have to rest because there's a lot of things going on in your body which kind of makes you tired. So this is a time as women we should rest. Then the second part of our menstrual cycle is the
upside down.
Oh, it is? Oopsies. Okay, so that we start here at the bleeding. The second part of our menstrual cycle is the follicular phase. And you could think of this as the springtime. A follicle is about to emerge and it sort of represents a budding flower and, you know, the beginning of life. So the third part of our menstrual cycle is ovulation. And this corresponds to summer because there's a possibility for life here and we're hot, we're excited, we have a zest for life, and it's like summer. After this phase, we go into the luteal phase, which represents fall. And even though there's still a possibility for life, let's say if you're trying to conceive a baby, it's about to dissipate as you return to your bleeding phase. So that completes a 4-part phase of the menstrual cycle, and it corresponds to the seasons, right? So this is a pattern, this is the cycle, this is the rhythm. right? Also, there's 4 phases to the moon, which Christina kind of went over a little bit when she had the calendar held up. If you want to hold it up again, any month will do. Okay, so the month begins. Oh, this is upside down too. See, our month begins on a new moon, and that lines up here. This is the beginning of the month. The beginning of the month is represented by a new moon, right? It's the beginning of a new month. So the second part of the month is the first quarter, which represents the first quarter of the month complete. The third part of the month is represented by a full moon, because it's the fullest part of the month. It's when the moon is most illuminated in the sky. It's bright, it's visible. Everyone can notice it. The third part of the month is represented, this is sideways, but you get the idea. The third part of the month is represented by the third quarter. So this indicates to you 3/4 of the month is over. I have another week left, and then a new month begins. So it's also separated into 4. It's 4 main phases, because obviously there's 28 phases of the moon, but these are the 4 main phases that you can start to become familiar with, and you can kind of plan your life as a woman according to these phases, so that you can be on track. You can take control. You can start understanding patterns, and your life can be more predictable. It'll be easier. You won't be always confused or off track. Being able to predict things with patterns takes the fear out of not knowing. So once you know how to track your period and you're aware of the moon phases, your life will become simpler. It has to become simpler. I mean, you can actually sort of see into the future now because you're aware of patterns. Okay, so I went over, let's see. Oh, also the day, before I continue, because I want to talk about also something else about the Mayans. But before I continue, the day, just so you understand the macro and the micro, the day is also set up into 4 phases, because this is the pattern. 4. The day begins at midnight. So that sort of corresponds to winter and the winter solstice, because it's the darkest point of the day. And it goes into sunrise, which is the second part of the day. Midday, where the sun is the brightest, it's in the middle of the sky. It's at brightest point, and everyone's awake and everyone's out and about, and life is in full bloom. And then the third part is sunrise, and then it cycles down to midnight again. So the day in itself is split up into 4. So this kind of connection will help you understand how natural time works, because using the Gregorian calendar, we're kind of disconnected from natural time, and this just disconnects us from reality and makes us dependent. We want to be independent. We want to be free, and this calendar will free us. Okay. One more thing I want to go over, and I want to make everyone aware that ancient places like Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids, and the Mayan pyramids were all designed to track solstices and equinoxes, because these were the 4 phases of the year. And the people that lived in those towns, that area, would know when to plan their harvest, plan their life. They would know when to have weddings. And it was a very, very important part of living in that time, because people would be able to track their lives based on real time. They would see when the winter solstice would appear, and they would know 100% fact that a new year had begun because it was visible to them, and they use these places to track time. And now we've kind of gotten away from that, but I plan for everyone to really come to know the truth and to familiarize themselves with real, accurate time. And I hope this video kind of clarified some things for everyone. Get your calendar.
Get your Feminine Now calendar, because I'm telling you, you don't want to rely on your phone. You don't want to rely on the internet. I'm very into movies about dystopian societies and all that, and like relying on your phone, you never know what can happen. You really never know what can happen.
Yeah.
But it's always good to have something handwritten down, and plus it helps you memorize it way more. Because you're always like, wait a minute, when did I get it? When did I get it? But I'm telling you, when you write something down, it helps you memorize. Like for me, I'm still in school, and to study, I'm always writing my stuff down because that helps me memorize more than typing it down. So,
Oh, that's interesting. Instead of like looking at your phone,
it's muscle memory.
Yes,
because
muscle
you're
memory. Oh,
writing
that's
it.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your calendar, or else you won't have mind memory, muscle memory.
All right, bye guys.
Okay, bye.
Like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications.
Oh, get the calendar. awickedmoon.com.
awickedmoon.com.
The holidays are coming. Get your calendar.
Yep, and New Year's about to start, so this is the perfect time to start getting it. And the holidays, it's a perfect gift for any woman in your family. Bye, guys.